Hello, welcome back to the channel. I pretty much want to say sorry that I couldn't update some videos lately, since first I was so busy with my school project, which is I just done recently, and second is because the lack of content in the game itself. But yeah, finally here we are. My perspective toward my best karma, my beloved karma side. There's like some people who ask me like, how do you use this karma and why everything looks so smooth when you played it? Well, before we go to the main topic, I would say something in general about how to play something better. So I call it as experience. The more you play, the more you know. And this concept is not only exists only for this game, but I would say also for any other game that you play, regardless the type of the game itself. Okay, then now let's go to the video itself. Boom. Okay, so first is I would tell you like what Scythe can do without skill, like the karma itself when you're doing combo. Let's say that you already know what skill Scythe has. And about this karma, I would recommend you to unlock the awakening skill as well, because I believe it will definitely help you to play in the game. Okay, so first is let's go to the basic combo itself, the LLR technique. As you can see, what I did there was WW LMB into chase, fall to the ground and do LMB LMB RMB and repeated the command until I lost all of my step. And if you're kind of new to the game, I mean kind of new to the karma, I think you will having some difficulty to timing either your first RMB or LMB to connect to the next movement. And then if you can do this consistently, I think you are good to go to the next basic combo. Okay, and the next step is to learn how to abuse Scythe S. Many people ask me like why do you do S instead of WW? Well, the main reason is it might look the same, but it's actually not the same. And about this one, I will tell you later. I would say in this part you will having another difficulty how to execute it rightly, and I want you to take a close look into it. And so what you just saw before is basically what I did there was first is WWLMB into chase, drop to the ground, and start doing RMB and SS. I mean double S. And if you're wondering why I drove faster after I did double S, it's because I was spamming my spacebar. And then after I landed, I repeat the same command again. RMB double Ace into space for 3 times. And then for the last RMB, since I don't have any RMB left, I connected it into the LLR combo to gain my charge back. And after I got my 5 RMB bars, I did the same thing again. Basically repeating the same thing over and over again. And there's like another way how to do it instead of doing the LLR technique. You can use the WW RMB into shift RMB and SS. This one is a bit more complicated, but it costs less stamina that you can even do 100-0 with it. And of course, it will take a bit of time to kill your enemy since Scythe is a breaker of course. And this is how you do 100-0 with Scythe without skills. And then here's like one reason why I'm telling you to do this combo. It is because this combo can always connect into your skills. For example, Rising Wings. Basically, after you did the SS or double S, you can use Rising Wings to dodge some peel in the ground while doing your combo. And in my experience, I dodged so many peel with this technique somehow. For example, if you can timing your double S rightly, you probably can dodge something like Icy, for example, which is a common skill to use to peel your teammate. And then your combo is not stopped there yet. You still have so many choices to do after you did the technique. First is, since you confirm that your enemy doesn't have air peel anymore, then you can pretty much hold your enemy in the air for a while. For example, by tabbing to your other karma after you did your Rising Wings. And then you can use hard tab to back to the side again. Second is, if you have Soul Taker ready to use, you can quickly land with the third LMB to the ground and do your Soul Taker, which is will lift the enemy again. Here you will give your teammate a plenty of time to work with, time and space, and it is really good if your teammate can catch the other enemy that try to kill you. I pretty much often use Rising Wings this way, since Rising Wings is kind of bad to use for neutral. It is because the endurance is bad, the brick is also bad. Even though if it bricks your enemy, sometimes it doesn't lift your enemy up. And the last one is, the skill is slow, in my opinion. And now let's learn how to execute Soul Taker. First is how to use Soul Taker for neutral. I would say Soul Taker is a good rock, scissors and paper skill to contest to your enemy, even though it mostly lost to other karma skills. And how I usually use it is I command stack it with WWLMB basically. So basically, right after you did your WWLMB, you use your Soul Taker. Because it basically like if you didn't broke your enemy, you are still safe since you used your Soul Taker. And if it does break your enemy, then it will be followed up with your Soul Taker, which is really safe move for you. And this command stack technique also works to break an enemy with full endurance. For example, your basic Soul Taker cannot break a Storm Slash, but if you do this command stack with WWLMB, it will break Storm Slash at its last hit. And then the last thing about Soul Taker is after you leave your enemy with your last hit, you can pretty much tab to other karma and then space, which is kind of advantage for you actually. And then so many people are struggling about how to follow up a Soul Taker after it breaks enemy in air. Because we know that the last hit doesn't have the same hitbox as the initial hits. Here you have two choices about what you need to do. First is right after you press your Soul Taker, keep spamming RMB and then do the double S technique. Second is right after you broke your enemy in air, shift away and then spam RMB as usual. And then into the SS technique again. And now let's move to the Death Blossom, the awakening skill of Scythe. I can say that this skill is maybe the strongest skill Scythe has. Why? Because the duration is long, it has big endurance, it breaks a lot, and you can stall with the end leg. And I usually do this skill. What I usually do when I count someone with Death Blossom is I do WWRMB into shift and then RMB into double S technique, which is back to the pattern where I have so many options to stall my combo. Basically, you want to make space for your friends again. And then that Blossom also works the same as Soul Taker. You pretty much can command stack that Blossom with your WWLMB. For example, I have this clip of my gameplay. And of course, after I broke my enemy there with that Blossom, what I did was I follow it up with RMB into WS like what I usually do. And here's why I recommend you to do the movement I mentioned before, like everything of it, because it will lead you to the peak reward of winning a neutral. It's to control 2 or more of your enemies only by yourself. And this is one clip about how amazing Scythe is. Enjoy. Okay, so that was what I can tell about Scythe. And if you're asking me why I only discuss about 3 skills in this video, is because the other skills Scythe has are pretty much not dependable to rely on. But in the near future video, I might will discuss about the minor skills Scythe has. Well, I think that's for Scythe tutorial maybe, and then the next video I make will probably talks about match analysis, about what movement I did in the match and what blunders on it, and some much more details about it. I'm pretty much sorry if my English is broken, since I'm not really used to speak English. And if you have some question to ask me, don't be hesitate to ask me in the comment section below. And then pretty much appreciate for those who subscribe to this channel. And then yep, that's all for now. See you in the next video. Adios, man.